Welcome to Vintage Variety. Today we're going to be opening a jewelry bag that I purchased at my local thrift store. In fact, I mentioned a while back that my jewelry store had some jewelry bags. I'd bought a few, and they also had some small baggies of items, and I bought one of those, and I've already shown it in previous content. Another thing I wanted to mention to you guys, because one of you had a hunch and they were correct, and that is, a while back I did show a jewelry haul where I got a lot of items that looked as though they had came from someone's personal collection. And I'll link that video below in case you guys are interested. But then I went back later on and I found some more items that could possibly have come from that same person's collection. They just kind of looked like it. So one of my viewers, Teresa, mentioned that maybe there were more items from that estate sale. So I went back in to this same thrift store this week, and they didn't really have a lot of jewelry. They had a few items hanging up, nothing worth purchasing. And I asked the lady, you know, where's all the jewelry at? And she told me that it just so happens they had received a big donation that was left over from not only an estate sale, but also a yard sale. So my guess is they made up these jewelry bags. They had about, I guess it was maybe 10 when I was in there and bought these. And the prices weren't too bad. I bought 3 of these. I paid $20 a piece for them. And looking at this, there may be a few good pieces in here. I see a few brooches. I also see a few pieces that are probably going to be not worth picking up. But we'll get this opened up and we'll see. Maybe we've got some good stuff in here. Either way, I only spent $20 and there's quite a few items in this bag. So we're going to go through these and see what all we got. Right off the bat, I think this is a really great piece right here. This is quite weighty. It looks like a very long strand of faux glass pearls in really good condition. Slightly tangled, and it looks like it's knotted. I don't see a closure. You know what? I don't think this is knotted. I think that maybe this is 2 strands that someone has put together or knotted together. Sure enough. So 2 strands of faux glass pearls, both in really good condition. I don't see a closure anywhere on these. They do have these really pretty rhinestone spacers, probably meant to be worn in the front. So I'm not disappointed with this at all. And the fact that there's 2 of them is even better. And it looks as though these are identical. So I think this is a great find out of this bag. These are wonderful pieces to own, very well made, and perfect to wear by themselves or for layering. We also have this brooch. I like this. This is a lady brooch. I'm going to close this up before I stick myself. But very pretty, a nice gold tone color. And it looks as though it may be signed. So I don't think that's going to come in too clear. I can't read it. I'll probably have to look at it through the loop. But I will put up a thumbnail of the mark on it in case you guys recognize it. So not bad at all. So far, so good. And another brooch. I like this. This is a really cool looking brooch. And on the back here it says People Pins by Lucinda. Not really sure. I think I've seen these before. I will have to do some research on it. But regardless, I think this is a really cool looking brooch. And of course, we have some bangles. I don't feel like you can buy a jewelry bag or a jewelry jar without getting a few of these. Now, this one is enameled, and I thought it might have been marked. J. Crew did some bangles like this. So I'll set those to the side, and we'll see what else we have. So quite a few bangles, some of them probably not worth dealing with. but would be great for crafting. And then we have this necklace. I don't really like wire necklaces. I've said it a million times, but this one's kind of cool. Pretty neat looking pendant. I don't see any markings. This has beautiful glass beads on it. I do like the way it's put together because it doesn't seem to be the type that would tangle up too easily. Looks like it's missing something. No markings here. It is adjustable. Pretty well made though. You can see it's got this one little piece on the side. It probably had another one that got broken off. So I think I would just remove that little piece on the side because the necklace looks great just with the pendant. So what next? Well, this is colorful. This is a multi-strand necklace that is very tangled up. Take a few minutes to see if I can get all of these pieces off of here. So very colorful. I like all of the colors in this. Quite a few strands. This would go with just about anything. Really pretty bead caps on this. It has a lobster closure, and of course it's adjustable. So probably a little bit more modern. This looks like something from maybe the 2000s, but not a bad item. It's perfectly wearable. And we have some more bangles. Kind of like this one. Like the way it's done. Has all of these beads on it. Then we have another one that's enameled. No markings in it, but in pretty good condition. So not too bad. Bangles don't really sell very well for me on eBay, but I do think they're great items, especially if you like to layer your bangles. This is Modern Costume, and I run across necklaces like this all the time. I've gotten quite a few of them in jewelry bags, jewelry jars. It's in really good condition. Sometimes these are broken. Don't see any markings on this one. Don't know if these are still popular, but I don't see anything wrong with them. So this is kind of iffy. You know, I don't know if this is something that anyone would wear or would buy, but at least it's in really good condition. And this was attached to this cord. And again, not really crazy about wire or corded necklaces, but I don't think this one's too bad. I really like the pendant on it. It looks as though this is a woven or braided leather cord. I don't see any markings anywhere on it. It's in really good condition. The pendant on this one is magnetic, or rather it has a magnetic bail. And this was what was tangled up with the other necklace that I showed. So not a bad item. I mean, I would wear it. Another bracelet. This one is vintage. It's stretchy. Kind of looks like one of those old watch bands. Don't see any markings on it, but it's not discolored. It's in really good shape. And then we have this, and this is vintage, but I want you to look at it. These beads were made on to the string. Hopefully you can tell what I'm talking about. I've ran across these before. People don't really collect them. I think they're great items for kids to play dress up with. And it looks like there's going to be quite a few of those in this lot. So this maybe is another one. Wait, this one's signed. See if I can get in close so you guys can see. This is a Sarah Cove. And there's the marking on it, Sarah Coventry. So if anyone collects Sarah Cove, this would be a pretty decent piece. It looks like someone wore this quite a bit. These are just plastic beads, but not bad. I do collect Sarah Cove. I have a small collection. Another one of those cheap plastic beaded necklaces. So this wouldn't really be good for repurposing because this is all made together. The beads are made onto the cord. But still, it would be a great item for little kids to play dress up with, or they could probably be used somehow in crafting. And this is yet another one. I really like the beads on this, but it's kind of like the beads are melted to the cord somehow. I'm not sure how they manufactured these. Again, they are vintage, but they're really inexpensive vintage beads. And this kind of looks like the green necklace. See if I can get it untangled. See, it looks the same, and I bet this is also Sarah Cove. Sure enough, has the hang tag on it for Sarah Coventry. So 2 of these. I'm not disappointed with these because, again, people do collect Sarah Cove jewelry. So those are nice vintage pieces. And yet another, give you guys a close look. You'll notice the beads don't slide around on this cord because it's made onto it. And this would be a great repurposing piece, except for that fact. I don't think that I would be able to cut the beads apart and reuse them for something else. So not too happy with that. And another one made the same way. This one does have a clasp on it. It's a shorter length. I'm not sure why they would bother to put a clasp on it, except that the length is shorter. Again, these are not very collectible. I could see these coming from the same person that had all the other pieces though. And even though they aren't collectible, I guess they would be okay for layering. Maybe layering with other pieces. I think this one is the same thing. Sure enough, the beads don't slide around. A very pretty color of green though. And another one. This one's more choker style. It does have a clasp on it, but also the beads are made onto the cord. So I'll probably lot all those together and list them. And another one. I mean, this is endless, isn't it? This one's really tangled up. See if I can get it untangled. Yeah, this one's made the same way as all the others. So I'll probably just put these in a lot and list them in my eBay store. Someone may want them. If you're just starting out with your jewelry collection, or if you're just looking for pieces to layer with other pieces, I think they would be okay for that. And here's some more. And these are made out of bone. At least I'm pretty sure that they are. These aren't made onto the cord. These are individually carved beads. You can see the closure on them. And there are 2 of these, which is kind of neat. If you guys will recall, I did get a necklace before that was made out of bone when I went thrifting at this same thrift store. So I'm guessing maybe all of these came from the same person. They are vintage from the looks of them. I'll certainly have to look at these under the loupe, make sure that they are bone and not ivory. You do have to be careful about things like that. Bone jewelry is not something that I'm really into collecting, so I'll most likely list these also. But I'm not disappointed. A lot of people like that type of jewelry. A bangle. This doesn't feel like Bakelite. I will test it with Simichrome just to make sure, but I don't think so. But I really like the color of this. Another brooch. Really neat design on this one. I don't see any markings anywhere, but nice size too. Very pretty gold tone color. And another modern costume piece. This one's black and gold tone. Not a bad looking piece though. Don't see any markings on this one, but it's in good condition. So this may very well be one of those pieces they talked about that had been donated as leftovers from a yard sale. Few pieces left to go through. Have some earrings. Modern costume. These are really pretty though. Nice weight to them. Kind of a gunmetal color. So these wouldn't be bad to wear. This is kind of pretty. This looks like dyed shell. I don't see any markings on it. Definitely a modern piece. Something weird about the chain. Okay, so it looks like maybe the chain had a clasp on it at one time and maybe it broke off and someone put the chain back together. I think this is still long enough to loop over the head, so that's not too bad. Oh, wow. Now, I really like this. This is a beautiful brooch. Looks like it's maybe reverse painted on there. I can't really tell. Don't see any markings, but this is gorgeous. So this is a really good find to get out of this bag. Definitely not disappointed with that at all. Another wire necklace. And of course it's going to be tangled up. In fact, it looks like there's two wire necklaces here and they're tangled. That's one of the things that really irritates me with these wire necklaces. They are so easy to get tangled up. Finally untangled. So this kind of looks like something that someone's made. Very pretty beads on it. Don't see any markings. I think that a lot of times with pieces like this, I do end up repurposing the beads. This one's in really good condition. Beautiful iridescent glass beads on it. So the beads could definitely be used to make something different out of. And this is the other one. No markings on it. Very pretty though. Lots of pretty pieces of beads and things like that on this one. So this one would be well worth leaving as is. Another brooch. Huh. This one kind of looks like something that someone made. See where the pin's been glued on the back. And another brooch. This one looks like a pretzel to me. What do you guys think? Don't see any markings on it. It's in good condition though. Another pair of costume earrings. These are really nice. Kind of huggy earrings. They do have glass stones in them. I don't see any markings on them, but I mean, I would wear these. Certainly nothing wrong with them. So these are pretty decent items. I'd probably lot these up with something else. A brooch. Oh, this is cute. Gold and silver tone. It looks like it has a marking on it. I can't really make the mark out. I'll have to look at it under the loop. But it's in really good condition. Probably more modern. I don't think this is vintage, but still pretty nice. And this is just another modern costume jewelry necklace. Very pretty pendant on it though. I don't see any markings. It's on a beaded chain. So not bad. So far, I've been disappointed in a few of these pieces, but I do feel like I got my money's worth out of this bag. This is a brooch, and get a load of this. This thing is huge. Again, I don't see any markings on it. Close that up so I don't stick myself. Pretty cool though. Look how big this is. It's almost as big as my hand. So this is really neat. This would be a great piece to wear. Another brooch. This one again looks like maybe someone made this. Maybe not. If they did a really good job. Some more necklaces. Another wire necklace. This one's rather pretty. No markings. Has a lobster claw closure, but still a very nice pendant on this necklace. So, not too bad. This is kind of cute. What is it though? Let's see here. So, kind of looks like something that someone's made. Little tangled. Huh. Maybe they were trying to make some kind of a charm necklace. This would be a great piece to go into crafting. Maybe do something else with the pendants that are on it. And the chain could always be repurposed. This piece has a tiny rhinestone set onto it. Pretty nice chain. So I think this was someone's crafting project. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. So this looks like, this is just a loose chain. And that's one thing I do like about this thrift store is they will put the loose chains out for sale a lot of times, and they're usually only $1. That's where I get a lot of the chains to go into my crafting supply. This one, I don't see any markings anywhere on it. It has a kind of an older lobster claw closure, and it just has that look like it might be sterling. So this is one I'm going to set aside to test. I will definitely put it into my supply of chains because you never know when you're going to run across a pendant that needs a chain. And another modern costume, and I like this. Looks like a safety pin. So this would be a really neat piece to wear to layer with other pieces. Don't see any markings anywhere on it, and it is adjustable. I'm going to see if I can get it closed up. For whatever reason, my hands don't want to work well today. But yeah, this would be a really cute layering piece. So I really like this. Just a few more to go. See what this one is. So another modern costume piece. This is really cute. I don't see any missing rhinestones. And it's on a gunmetal colored chain. So another cute piece to wear. I like a lot of modern costume jewelry. I have vintage, antique, and modern in my collection. Another really huge brooch. This one's silver tone, and again, almost as big as my hand. So this would be a great piece to wear as a statement piece. So not bad at all. And then there's this one, and this looks almost like a 1928 brooch to me. In fact, I think I have a brooch in my collection like this. Let's look at the back. No markings. It's more modern, but still a really well-made, nice piece of jewelry. Love the style of this. It has that Victorian look to it. The pearls are in really good condition. And I think that's about it. Wait a minute. So this got pushed over to the side, and looking at this, look right there. So this looks like maybe someone made this out of a single earring. Really cool looking though. So this was probably a pierced earring from maybe the 80s or 90s, and someone made a brooch out of it. So I'm not overly disappointed in this bag. I do feel like I got my money's worth. I found quite a few pieces that were decent, a few vintage pieces that I would definitely wear. You guys let me know in the comments, out of all of these pieces, which ones did you like the best? If you enjoyed today's content, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel. Ring the bell for notifications and you'll be notified anytime I upload new content. I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to share these items with me. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you all have a wonderful day.